Welcome, everyone, to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here. Have you ever wondered why some people feel super active, completely energized, and ready to literally conquer the world at 6 a.m., while others just seem to suddenly switch on and become absolute productivity machines at midnight? It's that classic, highly relatable divide between the cheerful morning people and the dedicated midnight grinders. I mean, we see it all around us, right? In our homes, in our offices, everywhere. Pose that to any group of people, and it brings us to a really big question, a question we are putting right on the table today. Who actually gets the most out of their brain? Like, who is truly more efficient when it comes down to getting things done? Okay, let's dive into this and look at what the science actually tells us. When we break down this comparison, we're really looking at two very different everyday experiences. On one side, you've got your day workers. These are the folks who study best in the morning, naturally wake up with the sun, and just feel highly energetic throughout their normal daytime shifts. On the flip side, we have our night owls. These are the people who get their absolute best, most creative ideas right at midnight. But here's the catch. While some of them thrive, a lot of night shift workers also report feeling constantly tired, sleepy, or just completely mentally exhausted during their shifts. It's a pretty stark contrast. And to understand why this happens, we actually need to shift the blame away from things like your willpower or your work ethic and look straight at biology. That brings us to Section 1, your hidden biological clock, the 24-hour timer inside you. You know, we often think we're in complete control of our bodies, right? But the truth is, we are secretly being controlled by this totally fascinating internal timer. And it turns out it's about so much more than just when you start feeling a bit sleepy. It dictates your energy levels, your periods of intense focus, your hormones, your sleep patterns, your mood swings, your digestion, and amazingly, even your intelligence and cognitive function at different times of the day. It is silently running the entire show behind the scenes. Scientists call this incredible system the circadian rhythm. By definition, it's basically your body's internal 24-hour timer, and it naturally follows sunlight. Human brains are biologically wired to become way more alert in the daylight. And conversely, as darkness falls, your body slowly and deliberately prepares for rest and recovery. Think of sunlight as essentially the ultimate conductor for your body's internal symphony. Moving on to Section 2, the hormone tug-of-war, chemical messengers in control. And this brilliantly illustrates what's actually happening inside us, a literal tug-of-war between two key chemical messengers. Over on the left, we have melatonin, widely known as the sleep hormone. At night, especially after darkness sets in, your brain releases a huge surge of melatonin, making you sleepy and actively slowing down your alertness. But on the right side, we have cortisol, the wake-up hormone. During the daytime, your melatonin levels drop rapidly and your cortisol increases. This tug-of-war is the biological reason why most people naturally feel way more awake and productive during the morning and afternoon hours. Because of this very specific hormonal design, sleep science institutes have found that humans generally have significantly superior cognitive functions during daylight hours. When we're working during the day, research shows we actually have much faster reaction times, significantly better concentration, improved memory retention, and far better decision-making skills compared to when we work late at night. Your brain is quite literally optimized for the sun. Now, what's really fascinating here is that biology is rarely a strict one-size-fits-all rule. Genetics play a massive role too. Scientific studies have shown that certain genes directly affect whether a person naturally prefers mornings or nights. So yes, some people truly do feel naturally more creative, energized, or focused late at night simply because it is physically written into their DNA. Which leads us to Section 3. What is circadian misalignment, or what happens when we fight our biology? This right here is the real villain of our explainer. You see, just because you might naturally prefer the night doesn't actually mean that continuous, heavy night work is biologically healthier for you. Circadian misalignment is defined as the deep disturbance of your body's natural rhythm, which happens when you work continuously at night and try to sleep during the day. Think about this for a second. At night, your body naturally lowers its core temperature and slows down its metabolism. If you suddenly force your brain to stay highly active and process complex tasks while the rest of your physical body is actively trying to power down, you completely confuse your body's entire system. So the crucial point is that this confusion isn't just an inconvenience. It carries very real, very dangerous stakes. Research has definitively linked long-term night shift work to severe health risks. We're talking about significantly higher risks of obesity, diabetes, depression, heart disease, and chronic sleep disorders. This is exactly what happens when poor hormone regulation becomes a long-term lifestyle. And let's be real, the immediate daily symptoms are just as frustrating for the people living through it. Because your body is so confused, hormones like insulin, cortisol, and your hunger hormones, specifically ghrelin and leptin, get thrown completely out of balance. This is the exact reason why so many night workers struggle with those random spikes of hunger at 3 a.m., or deep physical tiredness, heavy brain fog, sudden mood swings, and incredibly low motivation, even when they actually want to work hard. Plus, it's not just about the work itself. It's about what you miss while you're sleeping through the day. Sunlight helps the body produce vitamin D and strictly regulates serotonin, which is famously known as our happy hormone. Missing out on that vital daylight exposure directly strips night workers of the very chemicals that naturally boost their mood and their daily energy. Let's look at Section 4, Mastering Your Productivity, because the real problem here is lifestyle. So here is the empowering twist. Night workers, like doctors, coders, shift workers, they absolutely can be highly efficient if they manage their lifestyle. We've got a 5-step actionable toolkit to scientifically hack efficiency. Step 1, consistent sleep timing is key. Your brain craves routine way more than total hours. Step 2, getting morning light exposure right after waking helps reset your clock. Step 3, ditch the heavy meals. Lighter proteins protect your digestion. Step 4, limit continuous caffeine so you don't accidentally block your melatonin later on. And finally, Step 5, take short 10-minute breaks to constantly refresh your focus. And that brings us to our final part, Section 5, the real secret. Who is truly more productive? It all comes together to this. While daytime work matches our natural biology, your actual efficiency depends entirely on your habits. A disciplined night worker who actively manages their light exposure, their meals, and their sleep routine can easily perform far better than a careless day worker who ignores their health. A healthy routine can completely change your productivity levels regardless of what the clock on the wall says. The biggest takeaway here, the real mic drop moment, is simply this. Your brain is not a machine. You can't just flip a switch and expect it to run perfectly on demand. It is a complex, beautiful biological system. It requires absolute harmony between your internal rhythm, your light exposure, your hormones, and your recovery to create natural productivity. Once you truly understand and respect that rhythm, you stop forcing your productivity and you start creating it naturally. So I have to ask you, are you a day worker or are you a night owl? Do you thrive with the morning sun or do you hit your stride at midnight when the whole world goes quiet? Drop a comment below and let us know what time you feel most productive. And hey, if you enjoy this scientific breakdown, make sure to follow and subscribe for more deep dive explainers where biology meets real life. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll see you next time.